Yo, monkeys, it's me, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. And you, monkey, you're listening to the Potsy and Tino show. And that's not a bad thing, monkey. That's a good thing. Bang!
I like it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings to you its tag team champions of the... We are the world champions. The road dog, Tino Gray. The badass, Rob Potsy Potchak. That's right. The Potsy and Tino show.
Yes.
Our theme song is always brought to you by Adam's House Cats, called The Wrestling Songs, available on iTunes for 99 cents. And we've already got Chris Barrett in the audience. Hello, Chris Barrett. So, did I miss anything on the intro? I don't think I did I? Adam's House Cat.
No,
I think we're good. Yeah. All right. So, yes, it feels like it's been a really long week. I'm losing my voice, so that's great.
You're always losing your voice.
Okay. So, Tino. 10-second salute. Jerry Jarrett.
That's what I want to talk about too. But yeah, 10 seconds salute, Jerry Jarrett.
So, you got it. You want me to get it? So, folks, we lost another old-timey name in the pro wrestling industry this week. Jerry Jarrett, the father of Jeff Jarrett. Good old Slapnuts. I didn't know this, but, you know, when Vince McMahon was going through the trial, he turned the company over to Jerry Jarrett.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't know that. So you know, you think you know almost everything about pro wrestling, and then you learn some stuff. What the hell is that?
Sorry. Well, you always laugh at me when I had the timer and the dog barks, so I changed it. Sorry, I was changing the thing.
So this is what makes me laugh about Tino, folks. You can definitely tell that Tino is of a certain age because he doesn't have his phone on vibrate.
It is on vibrate.
And
that was the thing.
I know, but like if your wife calls or texts you,
it'll vibrate.
And make a sound.
It'll vibrate.
And make a sound.
It doesn't make a sound. It vibrates. What you hear is my fucking watch beep.
Oh,
dumbass. That's how Apple products work. You don't understand that.
Yeah, because I don't want it to make a sound even on my watch, which is why my Fitbit doesn't make sounds. It doesn't make sounds. It just goes. Bzz.
Finish what you're saying, bitch.
Well, that's what I was saying.
That's not what you're talking about.
See, your shit still makes sounds.
Because I'm still picking phones.
So, but yeah, I didn't know that Jerry Jarrett actually basically ran the WWF back in the day when Vince McMahon was on trial, which shows exactly how much Vince McMahon trusted the man, at least at that time in his career.
Yeah.
Not saying he did later in his career, but even later in his career, when Jeff, his son, was running Impact Wrestling, he brought Kozlov to the WWE and not to Jeff, which I thought was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Double E. So that, to me, that stuff's always been kind of weird. But you got the timer pulled up?
I'm waiting for you. Yeah.
Well, you told me to finish.
Oh, okay.
So I was. So we're gonna do what we always do when we lose an old timey name in pro wrestling. We're gonna go ahead and give the 10 seconds of silence, starting now.
That's not much.
10 seconds of silence is way too long.
But it's appropriate.
But it
now,
is.
The only thing, before we get into something, I know you said you didn't watch Impact.
I did see Jeff wrestle the match.
What I didn't like, and it's part of their act, but it was too soon.
The Acclaimed?
When he came out, and he made mention of Jeff Jarrett's dad. I'm like, I mean, he probably, I don't know.
But he would have had to clear that.
But still, that's still fresh, man. Why would you even think to approach somebody? Their dad just died and say, "Hey, I want to do a rap. Can I say this?"
Well, interestingly enough, Jeff Jarrett was wrestling last night on the show because Jeff Jarrett's mom called Tony Khan and asked that he be put on there.
Really?
Yeah. So, and she said it was because Jerry would have wanted it that way. So that's why, even though they had just lost him on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
It was either super late Monday or it was Tuesday. But yeah, she specifically asked Tony Khan to let Jeff wrestle. And Jeff, being the professional that he is, kept it all together.
See, that has to be hard because he lost his dad, and a couple of weeks ago we lost Briscoe, and Mark was wrestling right after. Dude, I don't know if I could.
But that was like a week later for Mark to be wrestling.
Was it?
Yeah, because
it seems sooner than
because remember the whole thing about TNT's officials didn't want them actually doing anything.
Well, now he's all elite. He's signed.
He was all elite before that.
Yeah, but now I guess it's official.
Yeah. So gosh darn it, Tino is what Chris Barrett said, but I don't even know what he's saying that about. Anyways. Now that we've given Jerry Jarrett his moment, we always start the show with what's up with you.
Tired.
Yep. Yeah, we got that, Grandpa.
I know you're not talking about.
Hey, the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with my back of my arm, man. Like, I can't help it. You wake up one day and it just hurts. Then you
I don't have that.
Then you take 1,600 milligrams of Tylenol and it doesn't do shit.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah. So,
but let's see. Watched the Super Bowl Sunday. That was cool. My father-in-law came over. We just had like snacks and we watched Super Bowl, just real chill, low key. Tuesday, Valentine's Day, Matthew had that game, so Nicole went. I got Nicole, flowers and candy and stuff. We went to Texas Roadhouse, picked up dinner, came back, and we ate and chilled. And then we went to Matthew's game and came home and watched TV, watched a movie. Because Tuesday's kind of weird in the middle of the week. This week, Friday. What I got Friday? I got 2 shows this weekend. Friday, I am at Abbey Road in Fuquay Arena with the band. And then Saturday, I'm out of town.
So not going to be in town for Elimination Chamber.
I'll be in Pickaway. Making money. It's not like it's on Peacock. I can't watch it Sunday.
Yeah, but I mean, you're going to miss that. It's been 900 days now, and now, Roman's going down.
I'm so full of shit.
Yeah.
I'm not even watching it. First of all, I'll have to turn off my stuff because it'll put on like Bleacher Report or tell you what happens.
Yep. You have to turn off the notifications. Absolutely. So Super Bowl Sunday, I see a post on Facebook of a Philly cheesesteak from somebody, right? And I was born in Philly.
Okay.
So I see this picture, and it looks like a legitimate official Philly cheesesteak, right? And I'm like, where'd you get that? And he messages back, Primo Hoagies in Raleigh. I'm like, that thing looks like a legit Philly cheesesteak. Like
what do you mean legit Philly cheese?
So everybody thinks that like Jersey Mike's makes a good Philly cheesesteak, and everywhere makes a Philly cheesesteak now, right? There's certain things about like the texture of the bread and stuff like that just makes a real one. And this picture looked like one. Now, the only place I've ever heard of anything called a hoagie is in Philadelphia. So I'm like, it looks legit. It uses the name that's used in Philadelphia for a sub. all right, Ryan, tell me, is it really that good? He's like, dude, it's the best one I've had down here.
Is he from Philly?
He's from Philly.
Okay. Get it.
So I was like, all right, now that you said that, I'm getting right in the car and I'm driving down there.
On Super Bowl Sunday.
So at noon, I drove right down to, like, it's at North Hills. So I drove right down to North Hills, stopped in the sandwich shop, and bought the Philly cheesesteak. Now, here's what's funny about it. They say that they got a small. It's like this big. Okay? That's what the picture shows. Then they've got what they call the Primo, which is what the shops call them. It's like this big. So it's about like an 8-inch sub. Right? And then they've got one that they call the full. And it's
a foot long.
No, it's probably like 18 inches.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like a foot and a half. And I'm like, shit, if it's really that good, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get the full. I'm not gonna eat the whole thing. I'm gonna make at least 2 meals out of it.
What I'm saying is, you can get them to be disappointed, be pissed off. You should have.
You're right. I could have. Well, I get the bag, and the bag's only like this long. I'm like,
they cut it in half.
It was 2 full sandwiches. They were both this big. So yeah, the bag was the same size as the Primo, but there were 2 fully bagged sandwiches, like, or wrapped sandwiches. And like, okay, you've been in New York. You've gone to a sandwich shop up there. They always have like that masking tape that they tape it up with after they've wrapped it
in butcher paper.
They like, so if it's a hot sandwich, they wrap it in that the aluminum foil, but it's still got like the paper wrap.
Yes.
They wrap it in that and then put it in the butcher paper.
Yes.
It's exactly how they wrap the sandwich. Okay.
They must be from Philly.
Well, and here's the icing on the cake. So while I'm ordering the food, I start looking, they got bags of chips. Well, it wasn't Lay's chips. It wasn't Wise chips. It wasn't Ruffles. It wasn't the known brands. It's a company called Hers.
Yep.
Herrz.
Yep. The best. I can't find those down there hardly. I used to. Can't find them anymore. Love fucking Hers.
The only thing that they needed at this place to prove that it was truly Philly would have been Tasty Cakes.
My father was Drake's Cakes. Or Entenmann's.
So I knew as soon as I saw every single flavor of Hers chips in this place that the sandwich was going to be good no matter what, right?
It's called Primo Hoagies.
Primo Hoagie.
I gotta check it out.
So
let me see. Wait. Let me wait. Once again, I'm waiting for the story. Hold on.
I get to the car. There's no seating inside the place, and it was raining Super Bowl Sunday, so the seating's all outside. So I was like, gotta go back to the car. As soon as I got to the car, ripped open one of those sandwiches. Easily the best cheesesteak I've had down here, dude.
Really?
Easily. The only thing close is that when my sister Michelle and her husband Shane and I went up to Williamsburg, Virginia, they have a Philly cheesesteak shop up there. And that's the only thing that, like.
Now, do you like, because I've heard 2 different, it's either provolone or I call it cheese whiz.
So
you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
So they use white American. They'll use provolone if you want them to, but no, I was white American.
Okay.
But the bread is the Amorosa roll, with like it's not cornmeal on the bottom. But it's like that little dusting of whatever it is. And you could have gotten it with or without seeds. They're like, well, our normal one's with seeds. I'm like, no seeds, no seeds. The hell's this shit? But opened up the sandwich and I like just ripped a piece of it off, and I'm sitting there eating it on the way home. I ate almost the whole first of those, but I kept the second one for the Super Bowl because I was like, like I'm watching the Philadelphia Eagles. Might as well have a Philadelphia cheesesteak while I'm watching the game. But yeah, dude, easily the best cheesesteak I've had here.
Nicole and Matthew fell in love with. Well, Matthew always loves Philly cheesesteaks, but they went. So they go to New York every year. So they went up, but they stopped
in Philly
for like 3 days because her Nicole's best friend lives in Philly. So they stayed with her. They said they ate Philly. They said they ate cheesesteaks 4 times a day. I was like, damn, every day 4 times. I'm like, God.
So
you're not gonna die.
So I had to be in Raleigh again on Tuesday.
You did it again.
And I bought another one. And I literally had it for lunch yesterday. I had it for dinner yesterday. I had it for lunch.
You got another big one?
I did. Dude, so 2 things I could eat every meal. I could eat chicken parmesan.
Okay.
And I could eat a Philly cheesesteak every meal.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's
like I said, I haven't had any. Like I've never been to Philly. So cheesesteaks I know. I do like Jersey Mike's cheesesteaks.
They're good.
But so I haven't had
the difference.
Cheesesteak.
So and I'll let everybody in on this. When you get a Philly cheesesteak, they cut the roll in it, but they don't cut fully through it. When you go to Jersey Mike's, it's almost always a fully cut through.
Okay.
Now their cheesesteak, their hot sandwiches, they normally like to keep not like that, but their bread is so big.
Yeah.
On the sandwich that like it's mostly bread.
But isn't that the same thing as that big hoagie roll? So there's more meat. So there's more meat, more stuff than bread.
Yes. Yeah. And I only get mine just meat and cheese because like the places that we used to get the Philly cheesesteaks up in Philly or up in South Jersey or whatever were always meat cheese only. A lot of people now get things like onions, peppers, and whatever. And here's why. It's because when you just get the meat and the cheese, it makes the sandwich look smaller. You're still getting the exact same amount of meat and cheese on the sandwich. It's just you're filling it with all the fixins and whatever.
Okay.
So, but when you order them up there, like the way it normally works is you go a Philly cheesesteak like super, which would be like with the onions and peppers, or a Philly cheesesteak hoagie, which is with the onions, peppers, lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, or whatever.
That sounds good. I probably like the hoagie.
Blech. Ruins the flavor. Anyways, but they also offer like a pizza steak, which then switches the cheese out with mozzarella cheese, and then they put like a tomato sauce on it.
Okay.
Anyways, so I've had that for 5 meals this week.
That's funny.
So I'm gonna tell everybody, right now I can't actually talk about something because it's not signed yet and negotiations are still going on, but keep an eye out on some big trade websites in terms of when I say trades, I mean like the Variety website like last week, or there might be some news coming out, so keep an eye on that stuff. Because I just found out about that.
Oh.
And like I said, nothing signed yet. So, but this week I also had the book Scorn #1 come out, where I colored 4 of the covers for the comic. So people can head to their local comic shop and actually get a book that I did coloring on the cover work.
I forgot to say something else.
Go ahead.
I got a Roku. Last weekend I went and got a Roku. It's kind of cool.
Does it do your DVR?
I haven't done any of that. The Roku doesn't have a DVR. It's just Roku. It's like the smart TV in my bedroom. That's all it is.
But you put it on your big TV.
I put it on a big TV.
Gotcha. Well, you got something else last week too.
I already talked about the PS5.
Did you talk about that last week?
Yeah.
Oh, because you got it. Okay, because you got it. Yeah.
Remember, because you and Jason were getting on me about you can't be watching. That's just the $500. You got to play games on that. You can't be. Remember, you and Jason fucking yes. The fuck ever.
Let's see. Anything else that I have going on? No, I don't think so. It's been a pretty quiet week. Yep, pretty quiet week. Got Elimination Chamber on Saturday that I'll most likely be watching either from here or somewhere. Try to get a group of people together for it, because we'll be rooting for Sammy, but we know what's going to happen. But I do want to talk about the Sammy stuff from this week because
from Raw.
Yeah, well, even from SmackDown, because it's so difficult with like what's going on, like to guess where Triple H's mind really is in all this.
Into that triple threat because the way Cody cut that promo, he's like, I'd rather see you at Wrestle. He's like, I don't want to see you next week. I'd rather see you at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I think the way. Either way, like you said, it'll be a triple threat. I'm just waiting to see if he gets screwed and Triple H says, no, fuck that. You can win it or just have to earn this way in.
I think it'll be an earn his way in. And we'll talk about that. Like, I actually put something up here for the Cody Sammy promo.
Right. In the chat, somebody say something.
Yeah, we got like 4 chats in there. Oh, Joe Lowe is in the audience now. What's going on, Joe? Hadn't seen you in here in a little while.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the Cody thing later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I didn't realize. So
Some other news. So you just got your PS5. We talked about that last week.
Correct.
Today I got confirmation that my PlayStation VR 2 has shipped.
So you got what game did you get?
I mean, it comes with a new Horizon game. So I was like, okay, but I'm already thinking I'm gonna get Resident Evil 8 and probably the Star Wars Stories from Galaxy's Edge. So we'll see. It depends on the pricing of that stuff. Like, I don't want to go spending like $300 on games after I just bought the damn headset for like $550. But yeah, so that's coming next week. So
I'm just happy I can play my fucking PS4 games. I've been so pissed off. And waiting for a new WWE game to come out. I think it comes out March.
Yeah, I think it's like March 23rd.
And I'm waiting for AEW's been talking about coming out. I just want to see.
So a lot of the rumor about the AEW game is the reason why it's not out yet is because they can't seem to get the ratings board to give them less than an M rating because of all the like thumbtacks and things that are in the game. So they keep getting rated as an M-rated game, and they want it to come out and be a teen-rated game so that more people can buy it. So it'll be interesting to see what they actually do with that. Like,
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So now, granted, I don't think the game is done because I think they keep pulling wrestlers, putting other wrestlers in it, doing stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, it's been kind of a slow week.
Yeah.
Like, I went and I played trivia on Tuesday night, and for the first time that I played trivia up at Ruckus, I came in second this week.
Which Morrisville Ruckus?
Yeah.
And what kind of trivia?
They just do random trivia on Tuesday nights now. So I was winner 7 out of 8 weeks in a row, and the only week that I didn't win, I wasn't there. And then this week I came in second because they did an entire round of Valentine's Day questions.
You don't know anything?
I don't know shit about Valentine's Day.
Like, what the hell were they asking?
Like, when was the first year that Valentine's Day was actually like celebrated as Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I lost it.
And they wanted the day.
February 14th.
Of what year?
You said they wanted the day.
Of what year did they start doing it? And it was like 1594, some shit. But then they asked questions like when they asked that one, because I had no idea, I was like, when Eve ate the apple. I was just saying dumb shit at that point.
Nicole goes away. I like talking about new trivia. I hadn't done trivia in a long time.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I've won a lot.
So is it like singles or you can do
You can do teams.
Yeah. What do you just do single?
I mean, if other people are there that I know and they're like, yeah, I'll join your team or whatever. So
I'm gonna tell you what was fucking fun, and I think that was because Edge did it. Remember we went to Aviator and did the
wrestling trivia.
Dude, that was awesome.
And didn't we come in second though?
Yes.
We didn't even win the damn wrestling trivia.
And I think it was.
And we had Jason with us.
I think it was one trick question that tripped us up.
Yeah, something like that.
It was a trick question.
It sucked.
We were kicking ass until that trick question.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so all right, let's go ahead and start talking pro wrestling, and we're gonna start with SmackDown. It's worth noting that Paul Heyman came out. He starts talking, and
a shit stirrer.
Huh?
He's a shit stirrer.
But absolutely he is. But he immediately sits there. He's talking junk about Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn shows up behind him.
I'm digging Sami Zayn coming in the hoodie and coming over the rail like outlaw.
I mean, it's Dean Ambrose. It's CM Punk, Stone Cold.
But like you said, Remember when I say they did, you're like, well, it's been a while. Okay, well, it's
Sure.
been a while since they.
Well, yeah, but Dean Ambrose does it every week.
Not like that. I mean,
you're right. He doesn't sneak in behind the other guy. So he immediately gets on the microphone and he sits there and he says, and remember, the main event is, well, it's not, they didn't even do it as the main event. They did it as the 1 hour main event. Was the Usos versus Braun and Mini Braun. Ricochet. We all do, but it adds to the story, you know? But Paul's out there and Paul's sitting there cutting a promo. Sammy shows up. Sammy sits there and says, Paul, months ago, I wouldn't have been able to get into this ring because Solo would have caught me before I ever got here. Or Jimmy would have super kicked me on the way in. But now we have this moment where I'm here, you're here, and we don't even know if Jay's here. Like, think about that. And who do you think that Jay's really going to want to side with? Is he going to side with his cousin that sits there and badmouths him and gaslights him and makes him feel like crap? Or is he going to go with the guy that he shared a womb with? Great line, by the way. And Sammy continues to cut his promo and basically says, I'm going to take the title. You know? And Paul just sits there and like stares at him.
Because he's fucking about to shit his pants. And Sammy grabs him.
And then Sammy lets him go and he slides out of the ring and he just hops over the rail and leaves. And then we get some other stuff like weird women's match stuff going on backstage. Or was that Raw that happened?
What?
Where like Nikki and was talking to Carmella and it was just weird. But all of it was weird. We get Ronda Rousey to come back. They beat up Natalya, her and Shayna.
They're about to be a tag team.
They are, but did you catch the promo part from Shayna?
She was saying how she's tired of being in Ronda's shadow, how she got there before Ronda. She was MMA before Ronda. She was doing all the shit before Ronda.
So you know what that means. Sure, they're going to be a tag team for a little while.
Yeah, they're going to have something.
I almost think that they might have one tag team match and they might go at it at WrestleMania.
I'm down for it.
Who
wins?
I'd be down for it.
Who wins?
I mean, Ronda kind of has to, right?
But she's part-time. You're right. I would rather see.
Well, we all would rather see.
And win and start pushing her towards that title.
And you know, if Ronda's contract is up, maybe they do that. Maybe they sit there and have Ronda get taken out and she does the elbow stomp to her and Ronda gets taken out on a stretcher. And, you know, because that would be the selling point to make you go, wow, Shayna Baszler really is a badass.
That's the thing. And Shayna Baszler is a badass. They just haven't been pushing her like a badass. So, yeah, they would. Yeah.
And you know, when Shayna Baszler was an MMA fighter, she was like a WWE star in MMA.
Yes.
The way that she acted, the way that she portrayed herself.
I've heard. I've seen video. I've never seen her.
But you know, to be honest with you, she wasn't all that good in MMA.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So when she came into the WWE and she was more badass than all the other women, it was legit, but it wasn't.
She's no Ronda Rousey.
It wasn't. She's the Hall of Famer.
Gotcha.
You know. So I mean, there is that to it, but I digress. Jimmy Uso wrestling the match all by himself.
Till his brother comes down.
Till his brother
through the crowd
walks in with his belts.
Yeah.
Hops up there, tags in.
Because no, it was before the match started. Remember the lady announcer was like, and defending the championship, and she was even by himself. It was like by himself. And then they were like, she said his name, and all of a sudden people started cheering. His ass came down to the crowd, so he made it before the match. But okay, and they won the match. But what I want to talk about is after the match when they're walking backstage, because I always have your back. You know, you're my brother. Da 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 da. He walks away. The funny part about that is when Sammy comes out and talks to Jay. Who's peeping out behind a column?
Well, but even before that, though, let's talk about the match a little bit. There was no dissension between them.
No.
You know, like Jimmy and Jay worked as a team.
Yeah.
And I think that that's important here because they easily could have went with the he just super kicked Jimmy in the face, and they didn't.
No, why would they?
Well, it depends on how they want to take the story, right? But yeah, who's peeking out from behind the corner? Obviously, it's the wise man. And of course, what's the wise man say? He comes out, he's like, "So, you talking to your brother, Jimmy? Yeah, everything okay? Like, what you guys talk about?" "Oh, you know, wise man, we didn't really talk about nothing. We didn't." Before the match ever happened, though, Jimmy's backstage in their dressing room with the wise man. The wise man asks him if his brother's going to show up, and Jimmy starts talking to him. And I don't know if you noticed, but Paul stopped paying attention to him. He wasn't listening to anything. He was playing with his pocket square.
Yes.
Like everything he does is just like he is so tuned in, and he was tuned in by being tuned out.
He's a genius.
He is so good.
He's a genius. I can't. But Paul Heyman's just.
But then Jay goes to leave.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Who's he running to?
Jimmy.
And what happens?
He's like, I didn't get a chance to thank you. And I forget what else he said, but he said, "You're the one," something like, "You're the only one that has my back."
And he's like, I acknowledge you.
I acknowledge you. Which, stay with me. If Roman is pissed at Jay, okay, and then I've read some other things, it makes sense. And he's pissed. He goes, he benches Jay for whatever. Jay can't come on TV. What if Jay comes back, SummerSlam? What if Jay becomes the new head of the table? And I say that because he said, "I acknowledge you." They started something with Jay and Roman way back when. I don't think they ever finished it. What if he takes over? Or he's the one that disbands the.
Would you stop kicking that?
It's that damn tape. I got big feet. It's that tape thing, whatever that is.
It's a tape gun.
Yes. So, what if he takes over, or he puts the nail in it and he disbands it?
I think when Roman loses the title, Roman goes on vacation, so there won't be a bloodline.
Well, there could be.
Well, I mean, it could still be just the Usos and
they could Shawn Michaels Triple H it.
I mean, what they could really do, imagine at WrestleMania, Sammy takes those championships and not Cody, and the bloodline comes out and they beat down Roman. And instead of Sammy acknowledging Jay, Jay comes out, puts the thing on Sammy and says, "I acknowledge you, Uso." And then Solo says, "I acknowledge you, Uso."
I agree with part of that. I agree with he gets the SmackDown belt because they're going to get the Raw belt to Cody.
Well, I think whoever wins at WrestleMania, if it's only a singles match between him and Cody, I think they split them afterwards. But he gets both.
Okay. So that would mean that would have Cody win. I mean, I don't see.
Well, but we'll get there. Because now, was there anything else really to talk about on SmackDown?
That was the main thing.
You know, Charlotte's not facing anybody this week, is she?
No, she just she did a what do you call it? An interview where she's saying she's going to put Brie in her place. Pretty much, she goes, "I didn't, and then she said at WrestleMania she taught her a lesson. At this WrestleMania, she's going to put her in her place." And she said that.
I just feel like the women's division's kind of being like backburnered right now, except in NXT.
NXT is fun. And you didn't watch NXT? Oh, that's right. You
I heard the promo, but that was it. Because apparently Gigi's going to be out for a while.
No, I'm talking about the end where what's her name? The champion needed a
Roxy.
Roxy needed a tag team partner to go against the ex tag team champs, and she was thanking I can't remember the Japanese lady came to help her. She was thanking her. She goes, "I have my reasons," and she walked away. They won the match, and so she looked at her and goes, "I did you a favor," and she looked up. Now you do me a favor. So now she's.
And then she said, "I'll be honored to do it." Yeah, without the microphone.
Yes.
Also interesting. Nothing really else on SmackDown. I mean,
Trick would. Oh, SmackDown. I'm sorry. You're right. I was still talking about NXT. My bad.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Nothing really else. I mean, there was there a women's match that ended the night? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, I really don't remember what happened at the end of the night. But enjoyable. Oh, I remember what else was up with me this week. I saw Ant-Man last night.
Oh.
I'll reserve talking about it just because of possible spoilers. But let's go ahead and move on to this without that promo. It has its own spot.
Okay. Bobby Lashley. Brock. Lashley came up. I can't tell.
Who's the face and who's the heel?
I can't, because he came out his feet on the table. He goes, "I had my lawyer look at it. I had my manager look at it. Hell, I had my kids look at it. What the fuck are we doing?" He goes, "Come down here." And Brock said, "Come down here and sign it before I come up there and make you." Bobby said, "Well, come on down." Pretty much. He came down, fucking got speared. I'm like, damn. But Brock got up laughing. I'm like, see, that's when you know Brock's crazy. Brock's about to fuck Bobby up. Because if you get speared like that, I think he speared him and he slammed him, and he's still laughing, you don't get fucked up.
I still like that he's still calling him like a Brock Lesnar wannabe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
Bobby who?
See, I didn't like the whole Bobby who? Bobby who? He's like, Bobby who gonna teach you a lesson? That's what's gonna happen.
I'm finding humor in the Chelsea Green. She's like, "I want to speak to the manager." He goes, "I'm manager of both shows. I got your emails." It's me. And he walked out of his own office and goes, "Oh, you stay here."
Well, she did something where she like put her hands on him and he went like that, and now people are like, he shouldn't have touched her like that.
Oh God. She's those are a little humorous.
She's finding her spot
as a Karen.
I mean, it fits her.
It's funny. It is funny.
What else? What else happened? We got Becky promo. Bailey comes out, says you wouldn't have been able to beat me if you didn't have Lita. And then Becky's like, well, you wouldn't stand a chance against me if you didn't have Damage Control. So I think we're going to get WrestleMania. I think it's going to be Becky, Lita, and Trish versus Damage Control and Bailey. And I don't know if I care about it. Like, rumor is Trish Stratus is coming back for an extended program.
Well, that was after, because they had that match with Belair.
Yeah.
So whoever won that match would get into the chamber, but Belair won either one. So Belair went over. I was kind of hoping one of them would win.
No, this is the same thing as like Seth being in the chamber. Becky and Bailey don't need to be in the chamber.
Yeah.
They don't, especially since it's to see who goes up against her at WrestleMania. They're already over. They don't need it. Like, you have to elevate somebody now. And that's why I kind of think it's going to be Natalya. Like, Natalya versus Bianca will be a hell of a match.
I almost think it's going to be Asuka.
I'm pretty sure it is going to be Asuka. Because otherwise, what do you do with Asuka? Unless you do something with Uncle Howdy's Alexa and Asuka. Because the two characters are a little bit crazy now.
Well, so's Nikki.
Yeah, but Nikki's going to end up being in the Battle Royal. Austin Theory basically having
the Miz, Miz
the
TV.
boots. The boots.
He cursed off his ass with those boots too.
Yep. And you know what someone needs to do is they need to go ahead and make like the Super Mario bloop, bloop sound effect for when he curve stomped them.
That is fucking hilarious.
Out in the audience, Joe Lowe says he got promoted, so he's been traveling a lot. Well, congratulations on the promotion. Natty is going to shoot on Bianca and win the belt.
Who's that other person that's in there?
Oh, Mateo. Matt. What is up, Matt? I didn't see you there. I apologize. We keep moving off of the chat to other things. So yeah, so Raw was good.
Raw was good,
but something
that promo
was fire.
That promo. Because if Sammy came out and he called out Cody.
Yeah.
You know something I noticed, and I hadn't noticed it. People are starting to learn words to Kingdom.
Not just trying to learn the word, but they.
No, that's what I'm saying. I noticed that they are singing it out.
And this was Brooklyn. Now the whoa part, like I even catch myself doing that part. You know, like, but yeah, there was definitely a person in the audience that they showed legitimately singing everywhere, and I was like, this ain't Judas, kid.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to make it.
Oh, you downloaded it?
Yeah.
Tino's trying to learn it.
Because you're
gonna play it. You're gonna play it in your.
I want to learn it because there is a part in there that song where it sounds like he goes high, but it's not on there, and I'm trying to figure out, are they playing two different versions of it? So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
They might be. They might have specifically made a new version for the WWE that's still the same song.
Yeah.
You know, so they might actually have, so that way at WrestleMania he can come out with the band playing it or whatever.
That'd be cool.
But this promo, Sammy comes out again through the crowd, pulls the hoodie down. No Paul Heyman this time. Grabs the microphone and says, "Something's been eating at me ever since last Monday." So I gotta ask him to do it. Cody, come on out. And Kingdom comes on, and
that crowd goes fucking ape shit.
And that's Brooklyn. So that's a big yard. And that's him sitting there like he's hearing the people starting to sing it. He's like, and then he's like, ready? And then he, whoa, and then, you know,
that's gonna be next. Oh. They did the same thing. They did the same thing for
Seth.
And they did it for Shinsuke.
Well, they always did it for Shinsuke.
Yeah.
But the Seth one, Vince Russo came out this week and said they need to shut up. They need to stop singing this damn song. And it's like, wow. It's like Vince Russo needs to shut the fuck up. Is what really needs to happen.
What's his
problem? Bro.
What's his problem with Seth?
He's just trying to sound relevant. But anyway, the promo. Sammy sits there. Cody does this whole thing of, well, Sammy, what do you want to talk about? And of course the crowd goes nuts, right? He sits there and he says, last week you said that you'd rather face me at WrestleMania. And shortly thereafter, and he's like, I want to know if you mean it. I want to know if you mean that I have what it takes to be the guy to beat Roman Reigns. And interestingly enough, Sammy asking for affirmation here is just odd to me.
Yes.
But as soon as Cody starts looking around the arena and he's like twiddling the microphone, the crowd instantly goes into, this is awesome.
I think that face to face is what they meant.
Well, and it was. Because that promo, beyond anything else that was already in the plans. Now, there was talk before Raw went on the air that Cody was going to put Sammy over big. Cody did. Sammy put Cody over big. Sammy, I don't think, put Sammy over big. I think Sammy put enough doubt in his own mind there that he was begging other people to sit there and of course Cody's like, well, yeah, Sammy, I know that you can do it because you're the one that finally put dissension in the bloodline. You're the one that did this. So you're the one that made Roman Reigns a man and he'll fall like anybody else. And I loved all that. But then Sammy sits there and he goes, this entire crowd thinks you can do it. I think you can do it. But is that what this is really about? I think this is more about, do you think you can do it? And that's when Sammy, Sammy's sitting there and he's like, can I beat him? Yes. Can I become the undisputed Universal World Champion? Yes. But if you're asking me truthfully and honestly, and he's fired up at this point. Like if you didn't see this promo, you need to go on and watch it. But he is fired up, and I've watched it 3 times.
We need to go back and watch it again.
And he sits there and he goes, but I've been there in the trenches with him. When he says he's in God mode, he is on a different level than anyone has ever been. He is, and for paraphrasing, he's the greatest of all time at this point. 900 plus days. I think today is actually day 900 that he's held that title. Both both titles now for 500 days. So you look at it, you hear it, and everything else. And what I thought was funny was when Cody said, "Do you think you have what it takes?" You just see Sammy with this big beard, and he's going, and it was just making me laugh because I think what he was trying to do was get himself to tear up, and it wasn't tearing up, but his whole mouth was just Papa Smurfing back and forth. And by the end of it, like I said, Cody made you think that Sammy can win. The crowd obviously was like, this is what we want. Roman Reigns, however, on social media, on TikTok, wrote, if you guys need to have a town hall in the middle of the ring to determine who can actually win, neither of you stand a chance.
Oh.
But, okay, so now that we've talked about what was said in the promo, were they going into business for themselves by not having a script and trying to make what is currently a singles match at WrestleMania into a 3-way dance? Or are the plans changing backstage because you can't, you legitimately run the risk of Cody getting turned on?
Yes.
Now, while we say that, everyone sits there and says, okay, this is like Kofi Mania, or this is like the Yes Movement, but it's not. And here's why. You want to know what the difference is? With Kofi Mania, it was just a singles match between him and Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Kofi got over. I think someone actually got injured, and that's why Kofi ended up getting put.
It was what's his name? Mufasa.
Oh, yeah, Mustafa.
It was supposed to be Mustafa was supposed to get that push.
And then now look at him.
Yeah.
But when we look at Daniel Bryan got put in that because, one, that's when Punk left. But on top of that, Batista didn't get over when he came back. So when Batista came back, and it was supposed to be cross promotion between Guardians of the Galaxy and WWE, Batista was supposed to come back, win that Royal Rumble, and get over. The fans turned on that before he ever had a chance to get over.
Because they wanted Daniel in the Royal Rumble.
And now here's the difference, though, and here's the big difference. When Cody came out at number 30, everybody knew he was going to do it, so they could have turned on him right there. They didn't. They're behind him.
But here's my thing, too. But they're also, and you've even said that they're hugely behind Sammy. I think Sammy winning those belts will go over more than Cody winning the belts. So they have to keep up. So in order to keep them happy, that's why I think they're going
Give me one-on-one.
They're going to split the belts. I think they don't want to run the risk of, like you said, of them turning. If they don't push Sammy, and it sucks. If they don't push Sammy, they risk that revolt. They risk that. The protest.
So and I agree with you. I think this is what actually might come of this, though. I've already told you my idea, my plan for it is Sammy loses at Elimination Chamber. He gets screwed.
Mm.
He's able to then weasel his way into the match at WrestleMania by, we said running a gauntlet. I would think that they go, okay, you have to beat the three members of the Bloodline WrestleMania night 1, and we'll let you pick your partner.
Oh, so it's just going to be a tag team.
Will be a 3-on-2. And KO comes out to help him win the match. He wins that match. He then gets put into night 2 for the main event. When they come out for night 2's main event, like I said, the best way to do it would be for Adam Pearce to basically sit there and tell Roman, you've held this place hostage too long. You don't want to work every week like so many of these other guys. So what we're going to do, I'm going to make you work extra hard this night. Sammy gets put in that match by winning night 1. It's 2 falls now. You have to win both falls to walk out with both titles. Or if they don't want to do that because they think that'll lessen the championships, because it could backfire if they do that. Cody's story doesn't need to end yet. There's a lot of meat on the bones.
But I think they're trying to culminate that shit at WrestleMania.
But hear me out. Let's say Sammy wins the belt. Sammy gets that 1, 2, 3. Cody could actually hate that moment and turn on him. This was supposed to be my moment.
So turn Cody heel.
He'd be the actual American Nightmare at that point. But you could slowly move him back into being a babyface or whatever, because I think that the reason why you may hold off a Cody Rhodes win is because Dustin can't be there. The Bloodline is all about family. Cody Rhodes is part of that other royal family.
But when? Sorry, my knee popped up.
Supposed to be out of contract this year.
He's retiring. So it's not going to be before Mania?
But you don't think that Dustin Rhodes...
One thing, when he retires, I'll pull him out of his contract. Or is he going to...
No. I think he's finishing out his contract.
Okay.
But I would think that he finishes out his contract, signs with WWE, and works like SummerSlam with him. And is there in the audience or at ringside with his brother, so that at that point Cody can win the belt.
So have him turn on Sammy, and then
you don't even have to have him turn on Sammy. You could actually have him do because the better man won, right? And that would keep him babyface. That would let him go up against Gunther for a while or whatever, until it culminates with. Because I would think that Roman would get the belt back, right? Sammy's going to take it from him, but it's Roman. Roman's going to, Paul Heyman will sit there and be like, wait, he's exercising his rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. Because they're going to call it WrestleMania Backlash again. Or something, but Sammy will have proven that he did it. Then you take the belt off of him shortly thereafter. You don't have to culminate with Sammy versus Cody. But Cody versus Gunther would be a good world title match.
I was kind of... Here's
I don't know.
Here's where I wanted it to go. Here's how I kind of wanted it to go.
Okay.
I like it to have the split belts.
Sure.
Let Sammy have the SmackDown belt. Roman beats him for it, and then have him go against Gunther. He won't call him Gunther.
So I love the idea of Cody versus Gunther. I mean, what they did at Royal Rumble made me want that match.
Yeah, I think they're gonna probably push first Gunther and Brock, wasn't it?
Well,
face to face.
Brock will get Gunther whenever he wants him. But Cody versus Gunther for the world title, one of the world titles, is Rocky IV. You know, it's the American versus. Now, granted, he's Austrian, but
it's not Russian yet.
But I mean, he's that evil.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm hoping for. Like at some point, I really want like SummerSlam would be perfect for it. You know, but here are some other things that go with the whole Cody holding off until SummerSlam. Do you know what city SummerSlam's in?
No.
Detroit. Just announced. Detroit. Do you know where Dusty Rhodes was put into the Hall of Fame by Cody and Dustin?
Was it Detroit?
It was Detroit. It's a very common man city.
Okay.
It makes sense.
I could see him winning the world title. I don't think
whichever one. Whichever one. But think about that. Yeah. The common man city, the common man was put in the Hall of Fame. No, but that was his dad's gimmick. And Dusty will be looking down on them. So that's what I like.
We forgot about one thing, and not you mentioned Dusty. Baron Corbin was backstage running his mouth, being a bitch baby, saying, "I don't understand why they're behind Cody." And his brother sucks, and his dad sucks. He let the Dustin
and his dog sucks.
His dog sucks. He let the Dustin thing fly. But as soon as you talked about Dusty, and I'm wondering if they're gonna play that. When you talk about Dusty, he fucking just snaps.
I mean, if you think about it, every time he's heard the name Dusty said in a derogatory manner, he's gone off on him. Like in every
Paul Heyman, remember he said something about Dusty. He grabbed him. He didn't beat his ass, but he grabbed him.
When he grabbed him for that, though, like Cody had self-doubt there because Cody was wondering, is it possible that Dusty actually did say that Roman's the son he never had? Or the son he always wanted was the way it was actually put. So the third straight amazing promo between these three men and still no Roman.
I don't think Roman's going to show up again until the pay-per-view. I really don't think he'll be on Friday Night SmackDown.
He'll be on SmackDown because Paul Heyman said he'll be on SmackDown.
I thought. Oh, he told the
Usos to stay home.
Okay.
Because some things you can see on TV that you can't see live, and what
that meant?
It meant that Roman saw it all.
Yeah.
He saw the fist bump. He saw, which I still think when you see Jey Uso's fist bump to Sammy, it's a push him away moment. Because Sammy's holding his hand up like this, and Jey just pushes him away. Like he does it, but he does it like in such a way that it just looks like he's
okay.
But we'll see. When it comes down to this match Saturday, I cannot think that they're just going to spoil Sammy.
No, he'll lose, but he'll lose by dastardly means. He'll get fucked out of it.
I'm thinking that the Usos and Solo come down. The referee takes the ref bump. That's almost definite. Yeah. Referee takes the ref bump. The Usos and Solo come down, or Jimmy and Solo come down. Like there's rumor right now that the Usos aren't making it across the border. So, with their DUI history, with their DUI history.
So who comes down? You said
Solo,
and you said Jimmy and Solo.
I said Jimmy and Solo because they're the two that actually don't. They're okay with just sticking with the tribal chief, right?
But Jimmy can go either. Then
no, Jimmy's actually more trouble than Jey. So it's interesting, but I could see Solo coming down, starting to beat down Sammy. Then all of a sudden, and that crowd just explodes for
You have to go
KO.
to Montreal.
And they've held him off TV since the Rumble, so they know that he's going to get that
Pop.
Road Warrior pop. I mean,
Well, Montreal, of course.
the literal roof of that place could bust off because of those two getting the pops they're going to get that night.
Him being held off, and then him being in his hometown.
Oh yeah, definitely. But also Sammy, same pop.
Oh yeah.
You know, like and Sammy's pop. I'm going to tell you now, they're going to bring back his old music.
Oh, that one, but play the whole thing and have him come.
He's going to come
That's
out.
Gonna be awesome.
He's going to come out full babyface Sami Zayn.
That's cool.
And if he doesn't, he's going to come through the crowd to that music, and he's going to be dancing with the crowd.
Yeah. Which I can see that one.
Yeah. But KO is going to be like when Austin came down, and see, this is where I think they could pull a new Montreal screw job, but it would be very similar to when Austin came down and helped Mankind win the world title. You got the whole DX against him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, glass shatters after the ref bump. He comes all the way down to the ring. Stunner, stunner, stunner. Everybody's laid out outside the ring. Stunner to Roman. Roll Sammy on top of him. 1, 2, kick out. Because it's tribal chief. But then Sammy's going to halupa kick him. I don't know if he'll win the match. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know if Jey Uso then comes out with a chair, hits Sammy, the referee sees it, disqualifies Roman. Sammy gets the win, but doesn't get the title.
Yeah.
Which, in turn, should also give Sammy the ability to be in the match because he beat Roman, so he deserves it.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of think they're going with it. But I could totally see KO, stunner, 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 stunner to Roman. And like I said, that's how I would end the match.
Okay.
You know, Jey Uso hitting Sammy with the chair. Roman would then still think there's dissension between him and Jey because he'd be like, you let him beat me. I didn't need no help. You know?
Yeah.
So that just adds more fuel to the fire. All right, that's what I got there. NXT, you said that you wanted to talk about something. Braun Breaker.
Okay, we'll talk about Braun Breaker first. But okay. Carmella was backstage.
Okay.
No, Trick Williams went out to the ring, and he called out
Dabakato?
No, he called out Dragovich for some fucking reason.
Ilya? Okay.
Yeah, he was trying to like, I'll beat you, and I'm you know.
Dragunov.
Yeah, Dragunov. I'll beat you. Da, 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 da. So Dragunov came out, and he fucked Trick up. But in the process of fucking Trick up, Shady McDonough came down. And I guess because he put JD out. JD had a patch on his eye. I guess he fucked up his friend. So they went to fight. He got rid of him. Trick came out, kicked him in the ribs. Da 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 da. Went backstage. He's backstage bragging about it. This is where I think Carmelo. At first, I thought it was going to turn face because, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You woke the dragon. And he was like, nah, dude. He's like, no, I can do it. He goes, no. And he looked kind of like worried, like, no, seriously, you shouldn't have done that. And he's like, oh, and he goes, all right. But I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do with Trick. I'm thinking, like, because at first he was like, I don't want that smoke. You gonna bring that smoke here? I don't want that smoke. That's you. You fucking woke that dragon up. That's you. That's the way it was seeming, because seeming. So because they did the thing with Dabakato last week, saying, well, you know, Apollo knows what he did, da 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 da. And Apollo came out. He's like, "The fuck you talking about? I don't know what did I do." He goes, "But now I'm not worried about the past. I'm not worried about the future. I'm worried about revenge," which means he's going to try to kick that big ass.
Who, Apollo?
Yeah.
Apollo should get a win on Dabba-Kato because he's been losing a lot.
Yeah. So and then the
JC Jane.
That promo.
So
I don't think she was feeling that promo. You can look at somebody and tell that you gotta. If you don't believe it, I don't believe it. I don't know if she quite.
I think
I
think it was the nerves. Because it's really the first time she had to do that alone.
But you see what I'm saying? Did you see that too?
Yeah, well, yeah, and but you heard it, like the way she was speaking. She was like, and then she finally calmed down, and that's when it started to sound real. I was the third wheel. There was Mandy, and then there was everyone always choosing Gigi. Like everything about this was never about me, when it should have always been about me.
Gigi's coming back to whoop that ass though.
Oh, totally, because they know. Okay, she called her the Janetti.
She did.
She called her the Janetti.
The Janetti. I mean Gigi. That was fucked up. It was good, but it was fucked up.
That's probably the best line she had.
Yeah.
And you know that came from Sean.
Yes.
But at the same time, while the big difference here is that Gigi and JC for that women's division both have more talent than Marty Jannetty. Marty Jannetty never seemed to really like by himself. He never got over with the fans.
And even when he won the Intercontinental belt, he was still
And it was. I mean, part of that was because that kick he never got revenge for. Mm-hmm. You know, and
sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, we got Blitzball champ in the audience. Mako Satomura is back. Yeah, we were talking about her. Already. But welcome along, Blitzball champ. Apollo and Dabba-Kato both need to be fired. I don't think no. Apollo. No. You know what I like about Apollo is that he flat out said, "When I was on the main roster, I wasn't ready."
Yep.
And
I like that he's coming back
and still putting people over.
Yes. But I mean, they put him high profile, so he can do both, and he's not complaining about it. You know what I mean? So.
No, I think that he now is in a prominent position where he's being utilized. He's being used a lot. He's probably still getting main roster money.
Yeah.
You know, when Finn Balor was there, Finn Balor was getting main roster money.
I wonder what her name was.
Mandy.
She needed to be because she fucking carried that shit. We said the Mandy that left that main roster and the Mandy that was in NXT, two different Mandys. She fucking came in her own and she carried that women's division.
By the way, her fan site page right now is 85% off if you want to join her.
Oh no,
I did not join, but I saw it on Twitter.
So the Gigi don't think because there's one more.
Yeah. Good.
No, but not because I want to go to something else that I know.
But you said you wanted to talk about Gigi Dolan one more time.
No, I started to say one more thing I want to talk about, but then I was making sure you were done with it. So we got anything else about the Gigi thing?
No, so Gigi does have legit injuries from what happened.
Oh yeah, that was makeup. That she kicked the shit out of her.
Yeah. And to Gigi's credit, she allowed it. Like they probably said, "Hey, we want her to really kick the shit out of your face," and she was like, "Do it." Like
I don't know that she could have broke her jaw. She could have.
But like a broken orbital bone would have been a month. You know, like a month to get that pop when you come back. Now, do you want to miss Mania weekend? No, and I don't think she will. So,
Shawn Michaels is coming back
to do what?
Apparently, he's going to wrestle. Have you noticed what's going on with him and Grayson Waller? Grayson Waller keeps saying, "You ain't got any more, Shawn. You ain't got it anymore. You picking on your boys." And what did he do Tuesday? The fucker tried to do Sweet Chin Music. He did the cue and everything. I think Shawn's coming back at that WrestleMania weekend to face Grayson Waller. Will he win? No. He'll put Grayson over, but that'll put more. What do you call it?
Sizzle on the steak.
Yeah, that'll push Grayson. You know, that'll kind of put us. Since he lost that match to Braun, I mean, Grayson Waller, man, is Underrated. Grayson Waller's fucking awesome. He's got the mic. He's got the ring skills.
They've always known that he has something. I mean, that's why AJ Styles wanted to work with him.
And I think they're going to put him against Shawn.
Maybe, but see, I don't think Shawn wants to wrestle. So don't be surprised
if he brings someone to wrestle for him.
Like a returning AJ Styles.
I'll be happy with a Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph's
Machine.
I don't know what they're really doing with Dolph right now, because like he's kind of in a program with Mustafa.
Yeah. But you think Styles?
I don't think they ever really got to have their match.
Were they supposed to? They did have a match, didn't they? AJ and Grayson?
I thought Grayson just walked out on it, though.
I could have sworn they had a match. You know, right. I thought they had a match.
Well, I think it started, and then he just hopped the thing and left. And if I'm right, and somebody could probably help us out there, if I'm right, then wouldn't that be some long-term booking?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really ready to go myself, but I know somebody that never got his chance against you. and then they bring, the phenomenal one out would be cool. Braun Breaker was not overly well received this week.
I think they're going to turn him heel.
I think he's overexposed as the champ.
I think he turned him heel, which that was the reason why I thought that backstage thing with Carmelo and Trick was turning Carmelo face.
I mean, maybe. They could try to pull the double swerve, the double turn. I don't think the double turn works as long as Carmelo has the bodyguard.
That's why, again, I think he's distancing himself.
But I kind of thought that he was going to take on Dabba-Kato as the bodyguard. I'm okay with the double switch. I'm okay with Braun turning heel. He's so much better than most of those guys at the top of the NXT card. I say most. He's so much better or more developed both physically and exposure-wise that at this point, like...
I think, too, it's just got the genetics on me.
I agree, yeah. but that's what's going to turn the crowd on him.
Yes.
So
then you turn him heel before the crowd turns on him.
Yeah. Or you just have him basically sit there and say, I've done everything for you people. Everything I've done. Winning this championship 2 times. Doing all of this stuff I did for you, and now you turn on me.
He needs to pull a bit Papa Pump. He needs to turn that aspect of the character up. Because he has small
he's got
inklings of it now.
Well, right now
he's more like Scott than he is Rick, though.
He's got both. But I would turn it more Scott when you turn him heel.
Yes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with that. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Anything else from NXT? We already talked about Roxanne and
I think you should come up with the metal headgear. That's all.
I mean, Grayson Waller did.
Yeah, but I think if Braun can, dude, if he dyed his hair fucking platinum.
I don't think they'll do that because Cody does that.
Yeah, that's true.
And let's be real. Braun Breaker, if he doesn't turn heel, is going to the main roster.
Oh yeah, I think he's going heel
to be on the main roster.
Well, he'll be heel on the main roster. Yeah, I
don't think he will.
I think after WrestleMania he gets called up face or heel because Carmelo's taking that belt.
Well, no, and I said that when we were at Vengeance Day.
Yeah, what I'm saying though, face or heel, he's going.
Yeah, but and I agree. But I think the reaction that they want him to have on the main roster could be completely the opposite reaction that he has in NXT. If NXT's tired of seeing him, it's time to have him lose so he can move up to the main roster. When he comes out that first night and he spears somebody, or he does the running power slam, or he does whatever the finishing move they're going to have him on the main roster is, he's going to get a babyface pop.
He should do the Frankensteiner.
Sure. Just not the Steiner recliner.
I was about to say, if they
turn him heel, then use the Steiner recliner.
Yes.
Because I mean that's a heel finisher. I don't ever remember seeing a babyface use that finisher.
Because it's the yeah, you have it's the fucking Rusev did it when he was face too.
But Rusev started it when he was heel.
It's what the camel clutch.
Yeah, it's the camel clutch. So, anyways,
and have him do push-ups.
I mean, if you're going to turn him heel, you're going to have him take on more of that gimmick. Yeah. He's going to sit there and do the. He's going to.
I can't wait.
He's going to come out. He's going to do some Steiner math, man.
Dude, he started. Didn't he do Steiner math on what episode?
It was like one of the first times when we saw him. He was doing Steiner math. But all right, AEW Dynamite from last night.
Like I said, the biggest thing that caught me was the rap. I think.
They opened the show with Jeff Jarrett. Sanjay Dutt.
What the fuck was he wearing?
I don't know. But I'm glad he lost. Who won the match between Jungle Boy and Brian Cage?
Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
He won the match. He was backing up with Ray, and then Christian came out.
Because you know why? It's because they're jobbing out Brian Cage.
Why?
Because his contract's almost up. And he's already said, I don't want to resign.
But he's got a title. He's, what do you need? ROH?
ROH six-man champion?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's six-man. Is he six-man? Who's the pure champion?
Garcia?
No.
Wheeler Yuta?
No. I thought it was the Machine.
I don't think so. I don't think he's the pure champ. I think he's the six-man champ.
So we're talking about AEW this week, but something that brought a match to AEW this week started at Rampage last week, and it kind of made me laugh. Because Mark Briscoe is stupid. So Mark Briscoe's back there talking, no, and Sterling Mark kept trying to talk to him. No, I think he's what he said. I think I'm gonna go on this journey myself, or something like that. And he kept talking, and he grabbed him, and then Woods came and go, what's it?
So I'm gonna say right now, I did see that promo, and if Mark Briscoe really wants to stay working for a wrestling company, he has to learn how to cut a promo.
But that's just him. That no.
All he did was yell, and it wasn't even good yelling. It was, hey, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna win a match. That's how I do it. I'm gonna do this. It's like
Ultimate Warrior.
No. Ultimate Warrior at least used words.
Nonsensical words.
Words.
Briscoe used words, so you understood what the fuck he was saying?
No, I really didn't.
Okay, well, you'd only
until he got called a chicken farmer.
No,
which he is a chicken farmer.
Yes, but he was using words. I understood him. The interviewer understood him. Sterling Mark understood him. And so did Woodsy.
It was terrible.
No, that's his character. Dude.
It's horrible though, man.
And he's making money, and we're sitting here doing this.
I make money. I just don't make money wrestling.
He makes more money. I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He
makes more money off of selling eggs than he does off of wrestling.
He's doing something right. He's on TV. So
no, right now Tony's he's the flavor of the week. Tony's giving him what he needs right now.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That one I'm going to disagree with you.
So I do want to.
You call Orange Cassidy a flavor. You call everybody a flavor.
I do want to bring up. Well, here you go. You ready? So I want to bring up something that someone said on our Facebook group. That was, I can't believe the Guns are the tag team champions of AEW and then he listed off like 4 different tag teams that deserve to win those belts before these kids ever did, who are still under contract. I can't remember. Read the Facebook group.
I've already discussed with you.
Butcher and the Blade.
No.
They deserve the belts more than that. The Dark Order.
They might deserve it. That's not what they're doing.
No, of course not.
I told you.
Flavors of the week, man.
I told you what they're doing.
Flavors of the week.
Let's go back and say, why did I say they have the belts right now? See if you were paying attention.
I wasn't.
No.
Because they're a bad act.
Because you don't fucking listen.
No, yeah, you're right.
They
I don't need
fucking with FTR. When FTR comes back, they're gonna take those belts.
So I'm gonna mention FTR because you just did.
Yes.
Don't know if you saw Dax's Instagram post this week where he was showing off a nice little bottle of alcohol.
Mhm.
And right next to it was the corner of what looked like a WWE contract.
They use that in negotiation. If your contract's up, what are you gonna do? Same thing fucking MJF's crybaby bitch ass did. He used the WWE to get his fucking way. FTR is just using it as a negotiation tool.
I'm telling you that when it comes to the Guns, the reason why they have those belts is because the Young Bucks are in Tony Khan's ear, and they're basically saying the tag team division, even though your most over tag team had the belts, isn't getting ratings. So go ahead and start moving those belts around.
I know. Okay.
And when we're ready to come back and be just a single, two-man tag team, we'll come back and we'll save that division for you.
As much, like I said, as much as I hate those bitches. I don't think they're gonna fuck around and like they did, but all that fuckery they did with CM Punk, and then they got these belts now. I honestly don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think so. I think they're holding off to FTR.
I mean, FTR specifically asked for time off.
Mm-hmm. And that's good.
And they were granted.
And I'll give you that. They might shuffle those belts around. FTR comes back, they're getting those belts. I just think that they're going to take it from the ass boys.
Well, I think the reason why FTR might get those belts at this point is because when they finally come back, they're going to get those belts because otherwise they're going to leave. They don't like how they're being treated.
Well, I agree because Tony Khan, we all
know who he loves. His flavors of the week and the Young Bucks and Kenny.
It's not his flavors of the week. It's the boys got his dick in his mouth and then one in his ass.
The Bucks and Kenny is what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. But then it's the flavors of the week. Takeshita. Wheeler Yuta. When was the last time Wheeler Yuta wrestled a match?
They don't have belts.
What?
They're not. He's not giving them belts.
He did give him a belt. He gave him the Pure Championship.
Yuta, he didn't get one to Takeshita.
I'm going to tell you right now, as soon as this Wardlow and Joe story's over, Takeshita's going to end up being the TNT champion.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he's not the flavor anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep an eye out.
Briscoe.
No. Briscoe will win an ROH belt. Yeah.
We'll see.
Mark Briscoe is not going to win the TNT championship.
Why not?
Because he's not good enough.
And Takeshita is.
Everyone seems to think so. Wait, so are you saying that Takeshita's not that good? Because I want you to say it. Because I want you to say the words. Because I got blasted on the Facebook group for saying he's not that good.
Who's blasted you on the Facebook?
Everybody. Jason, you can't call what ROH is doing TV tapings because they don't have a TV show. They're doing tapings for Honor Club, which is a digital service.
Which is
not TV.
That's going to be there.
It's not going to be TV. There's a difference.
So NWA is not TV because it's on YouTube. So the elevation that the fucking
it's not TV. It's a streamed program. There's a difference, dude. Impact has TV. MLW has TV.
Why are you being difficult?
They actually have TV. They are on TV. They are on a channel.
So RH isn't a show because it's not on TV.
I said it's not a TV taping because it's not TV. I said it's not a TV show because it's not TV. It's not.
What about when TNA started and they were doing the $10 little...
Back then, they were not. Well, actually, no, it was still on TV. It was just pay-per-view. So they had pay-per-view before they ever had TV.
It was $10 a week.
Yeah. It's pay-per-view. But it was still on TV. It was on the television providers.
Okay, you're making my head hurt. I'm already tired. Okay.
But there's a difference. I'm not saying you're not wrong that they have a program. I'm not saying that you're not wrong that people are going to be able to watch it. What I'm saying is that Ring of Honor does not have a TV program right now.
Okay.
Tony Khan may be paying those guys like they're on TV, but it's not TV.
Okay.
And that,
I give you that.
and it's semantics.
I give you that.
And I'll agree, it's semantics. But I just want to make sure that people understand that there is a difference between what Impact's doing and what Ring of Honor's doing.
I give you that.
That's it. It wasn't meant to be an argument or anything else. It was just meant to clear like how it's explained.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Did you have a stroke? What are you doing?
I want to talk about the Jericho Appreciation Society because I didn't think I'd ever say this about something that Chris Jericho is so involved in, but I hate it.
Which aspect?
All of it.
What did he do this week?
He didn't really do anything, and that's like Jericho can lose and be over. He can win and be over. It's Jericho. He's earned that right to pretty much, as long as he's working within the boundaries of the company, he's doing what's best for the company,
okay,
one way or another. I don't need to see fat Matt Hardy out there. The absolute thing of a Bob, the blah 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 with his face. I like Daddy Magic. I'm sorry, I'm done with it. I think it's stupid.
I think the funniest part of that whole thing, where they were
Don't you
you're absolute
dare,
absolute love this hat.
That's where I was going. I'm going to tell you right now. Jake Hager
Loves his hat.
is the absolute worst part of that group.
Oh.
You are talking about a former world champion.
So he's worse than Fat Matt Hardy. Or whatever you call him, Fat Matt Jackson.
No, Fat Matt Hardy.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because Matt Hardy's not skinny. And he's just fat in the face, okay?
So he's worse than Fat Matt Hardy.
Dude, I don't know if they decided, hey, you're gonna be the guy who.
He's still the muscle, though.
I'm not getting us canceled by using the wrong term.
That's the dumb gimmick he has. He's still the muscle, though. He still goes out there and he's still a monster.
He literally
he needs to get rid of the gimmick.
He literally is Gossamer from the damn old Bugs Bunny cartoons. Do you know who Gossamer was?
The big furry
red guy. I love him and squeeze him and call him George. That guy. That is who he has become. This is a guy who was world champion, who is an undefeated MMA star. And he literally, now, to your point about Briscoe, he's out there and he's getting paid, but his fucking hat is more over than him. And when was the last time Jake Hager won a match? Hell, when was the last time he was in a singles match at this point?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
It's not as long ago as we think.
They've been really concentrating on Garcia and Sammy.
And even that, like,
and Anna JAS. That's a dumb ad.
Every week, Daniel Garcia looks at them like he just wants to quit the group.
I wish he would. I don't know what the fuck. And then Sammy keeps touching him, and
he's like, "Don't touch me," and yet they keep doing it.
Oh, I got one more to get someone nerves. After you finish this, it's not a JS. It's another faction, one particular person who's getting on my fucking nerves, and it's motherfucking. It's not who you might think it is.
Ethan Page.
he's in that group. Who's the guy that keeps going up and people's like, because there's something like, stop, you do that shit one more time. Because he gets real close. I'm like, stop it.
So a couple things there, because I want to go ahead and say this. Why is Matt Hardy in that group?
He has a contract. I think he's in there to destroy it from the inside out. Because he is trying to get his boys back.
And
private party.
And to I do think you're right there. And to go back to flavors of the month, where's Christian Cage?
He's back.
Is he?
Didn't we just I just said
Christian Cage?
Yes, but you don't listen. You guys heard this shit. Remember you said who won the match between him and Brian Cage? I said he did, and as he was walking up, Christian attacked him.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, bitch.
He attacked Brian Cage?
No, he attacked Jungle Boy.
So they're going back to that story?
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Jesus Christ. Like, remember when he came into AEW and he was like, the reason why... What did I say? What did I say?
Because you said Jungle Boy.
Oh,
look what it is. Siri. It was Siri.
Thank you, Siri. I'm surprised the Siri on my iPad didn't.
God. Because I thought I stopped it on my watch because my watch is right here.
So Christian Cage is finally back.
Yes. He blasted Jungle Boy and he went to go walk off and he turned back around and he took the
sling off
and then he took the brace off and says I couldn't hear what he said to him. Then he hit him with the unpretty on the ramp.
The
what do they call it now? Whatever they call it. The
kill switch.
Yeah.
Kill switch. Okay. Well, that still doesn't answer where the fuck's Miro.
Yeah. I want to know where the fuck Jungle Boy
Lucha.
Yeah, I wonder where the fuck he went.
So he's in a legal battle right now.
Oh.
For his mask.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like right now, and this is probably why he's being kept off TV because they're probably designing a new mask for him, or just telling him, take the fucking mask off.
Like they did with fucking
everybody else.
10, whatever they did.
Yeah. But so his whole legal thing is that the guy that made the mask for them is like a legit mask maker and very similar to Tom Savini doing the mask for the Fiend.
Excuse me.
And he says that the contract that he came up with and did with AEW made the mask for them, but never gave them merchandising rights. So he's wanting money from like the entire time that he's been working for AEW. So I almost guarantee that's why he's been kept off TV. So that one I do not chalk up to the flavor of the month, okay? But Jungle Boy beating Brian Cage. Last week, Brian Cage losing to Takeshita. Last week before that, Brian Cage losing.
Why is it?
He's got to be on his way out.
I mean, he'll probably show up at WWE.
Well, WWE had already there was already talk that they were interested in him, and he's WWE sized.
Yeah.
You know, like him versus Braun Strowman.
I was about to say.
Oh, forget about it, dude. Or Braun Breaker. You know, like Gunther. I mean, any of those guys, and I could immediately see him walking in the door and being put into the, you have a smaller champion who's like Austin Theory saying, I just hired new muscle.
Okay.
I could see something like that.
Or he can be Grayson Waller's Diesel.
That'd be another good choice for that, yeah. And I mean, he'd be the Diesel for whoever, but I said Austin Theory, you said Grayson Waller, they're almost the same guy. He'll probably come in as the Miz's guy though, because they keep doing that with the Miz. It's like 1 week it's Ciampa, 1 week it's Bronson Reed, 1 week it's whoever.
Okay, LA Knight.
LA Knight doesn't need it though. And LA Knight will get himself over better by not having one of those guys. So, what the fuck are they doing with the women's division in AEW?
Right now, they're still doing the fucking originals against them.
And while I'm at it,
Oh shit!
what the fuck is up with Jamie Hayter's music?
They're the same music they've had.
Yeah, it's the boom, 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 boom.
I think it's the same music.
It's horrible. Like,
Okay.
like it literally sounds like just a bunch of drummers at a fucking parade. It's horrible. Have you heard it?
Probably not. I didn't pay attention. I downloaded Rancid Ruby Soho though.
Yeah, well, I mean,
That's I actually because I wanted to hear it because all you hear on TV and I listen to it. I'm like, it's like a drunk English.
Totally. Yeah. Dude, when you see the guys from Rancid, you do not think that that's what they would sound like.
Oh man.
Like they look like a group that would sound more like Disturbed, and then you see them and they're Ruby Soho, and you're like, that's them?
Drunk British guys.
But they're not British.
They sound. But
more like Irish guys, but yeah. But that whole women's division is a clusterfuck.
Yes.
Like while Britt Baker's out with injury, although she did wrestle this week.
She wrestled, I'm about to say, yeah.
But go ahead.
They're concentrating on those things. So it's Ruby. So it's whoever Britt's with. So it's Britt, Tony Storm, and probably put Ruby with her because you've got
well, Britt is with Tony Storm. Soraya's with.
I'm sorry.
Soraya.
Yeah. Soraya and Tony against the champion and Britt, and then you've got Dingleberry in the middle. I mean, what happened to like Willow? And what happened to? But we haven't seen what's her the damn TBS champion. I haven't seen her ass.
Yeah, she got win number 50, and then they just kind of kept her off TV. Flavor of the month, man.
Cario. No, I don't think she's flavor of the month. She's got a 50. But yeah, they were doing so good. Where's
Ember Moon?
No, the Beast. Nala. Where's Nala? Where's Nala Rose? Where? You know what I'm saying?
Probably on Dark.
They need to.
Or Elevation.
They need to pick up their
the shows that are not TV shows.
They need to pick.
I'm just saying that to Jason. They need to what?
Pick it up. I had a thought and I lost it. Anyway, I lost. I'm tired. I lost my thought.
I think when it comes to the women's division, they need to take a step back, look at their talent roster, and stop giving people like the Bunny a world title match.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you who's got a death wish. You didn't watch the show last night, did you? I'm gonna tell you who's got a death wish. Evil Uno pie facing John Moxley. He pushed the fuck out of him. And it wasn't just he took his hand and his neck went like that.
Was John Moxley bleeding afterwards?
No, he's bleeding before because
okay. Of course he was bleeding before.
But what happened is he won his match. Backstage, of course, the Cowboys watching. So the Cowboy came out. He had to. Before Cowboys match, he was supposed to face Kip. And Kip, what's to say? So Sabian Butcher and the Blade fucking jumped him backstage and beat the fuck out of him. He came out for his match. He still managed to win his match. After he won his match, the whole Combat Club came out because
and they came out. Yeah, they came out like through the crowd.
No, they came down the ramp.
Oh,
they came down the ramp.
Well, because the tag team match was him and Claudio.
Yeah, that was first.
Oh, okay.
So they were done. They showered up and because he wasn't bleeding anymore. I guess they.
Oh yeah, but
so he came down the ramp and got in the ring, and he's like, and Mox pretty much said, "We don't need to fight again. I beat you. You'll never beat me again." And then, of course, then Heyman goes, "Oh, well, that's how you want to win with the roll up and all this other shit." And he'd been talking shit to Renee too backstage and all this other shit. And he goes, "Well, right now," and then Mike's like, "You don't have any friends to talk sense to you." Here comes Dark Order. Evil Uno in front. What? I'm sitting backstage and I hear you talking shit. Hangman's pitching a bitch because he doesn't want anything to do with him. He's like, I can handle this. I can handle this. Evil Uno gets in the ring. Hangman steps between him and Moxley, and Evil Uno proceeds to say, "Get out of my face." And he pushed him to the side, and he went right up to Moxley. Knows, I'm not scared of you. The Dark Order ain't scared of you. Da da da. He was talking shit. So Moxley's still trying to talk to Hangman. He's like, and so that's when he mushed him.
Mushed him.
He did. He mushed his pie face. That's what we called it back in the day.
Pie face, yeah.
And so Moxley, you see, he was fierce. I don't know if that was scripted, but as soon as he did it, Moxley went, and his whole face was like bloodshot red. He was holding his fist like this, and he was trembling. So I don't know if that was part of the act or motherfucker pushed his face and wasn't supposed to. And they were nose to nose, and he gained composure, and he looked around him. He said, "Yo, cowboy." Whatever next pay-per-view, Texas Death, and then he walked out the ring, and then so they got Texas Death.
Moxley's going to come down to the ring, and he's already going to be bleeding.
And so next week he's got to face. Next week Evil won't going to get his ass kicked because he's got a match. But I thought that whole segment the promo was good. I don't know if Uno went in business for himself.
Maybe he did. Maybe the emotions did finally catch up. Maybe he felt like he should have had, because he's supposed to be in a match with Moxley next week, that he needed to do something to actually like get Moxley's attention.
Well, he got Moxley's attention. Like I said, I'm hoping it was part of the script because it didn't look like it.
What was the main event last night?
The damn Ruby Soho, that triangle match.
Okay, yeah. So they gave time to the women, but they really don't know what they're doing with the women.
Yeah.
So
Ruby won the match though.
Yeah, I noticed that. When it comes to AEW, right now, is it just me, or does it really seem like the only people getting on TV time are the people that are already proven they grab ratings, and no one else is being given a chance? Although, like I guess I could be wrong there because Kip Sabian's on TV.
Chris Daniels came out to confront MJF.
I liked that moment.
He said he paid me to say. He said, but no, he's gonna put your dick in the dirt. I'm like, oh fuck.
And then MJF proceeded to sit there and kick him in the nuts,
and then put him in the salt of the earth. And then Danielson came out.
And it's great that they did that, but right now I really want to see Danielson versus MJF.
I don't like that they he said the way he said it, he said, I guess there's a match that Danielson had, and then that led to ROH being formed better. He said, so if there was no Danielson, there'll be no MJF. I was like, oh, fuck, the way he just kind of connected it up, because there wouldn't be an ROH, there wouldn't be an AEW, blah, blah, blah. So therefore, if there wasn't a Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson.
Right. Brian Danielson, it wouldn't be an MJF.
Daniel Bryanson. That's what he'll be if he goes to one of these. If he goes to New Japan.
Yeah. He used to be a dog. There ain't no more. Doggone.
That's such a Mark Briscoe line there. But I just feel like the people that like Tony Khan has literally WCW'd his roster.
Yeah.
He's got like 250 people on roster, and
I think hopefully because he's got all out and he's got his ROH. So I'm hoping that when ROH does whatever they do on the Honor Club, that pushes them all in. He makes them separate entities. You know what I mean? So that will clear up more roster space for them to showcase more people.
Well, it'll do part of that, but people like Joe currently have titles, both of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think now that he is now they figured out what they're going to do with ROH, I think Joe's going to drop the TNT title and he's going to be ROH.
Dude, that's a bad move.
I don't know what they're going to do with Claudio because he's part of the damn Combat Club. So that's such an integral part.
Yeah, but I mean, Bullet Club is
AEW
people
right
in different
now.
companies. The thing there, and even that, like, I get that you go, okay, well, Claudio's the world champion in Ring of Honor, but taking Claudio off of AEW television is a bad move.
I think what they do, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like this. Since Briscoe has to give up that
Tag team belt.
tag team belt, they might make him, just for now, like you said, until they find somebody, just keep him, in ROH because he's been there since the beginning. Give him that belt because I don't see Jay Lethal going to ROH. I think he stays. If they were smart, they bring Gresham back. I don't see them push. See, a lot of the ROH chat, like Roosh, who could have been, he's in the fucking AEW. I don't want them to have the crossover. I want them to be separate. So Roosh is either going to be AEW or it's going to be ROH. So I think they did sign I keep calling him Jay, Mark Briscoe, knowing that ROH was going to be over here.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? That's the dilemma. A lot of who are they going to?
I think that what they're going to end up trying to do is use ROH as their farm system, but if you put, okay, right now Joe has been one of your more popular people on AEW. You move him over to Ring of Honor and you don't have him on AEW anymore, people are going to forget about him. I mean, we're not going to forget about Samoa Joe, but like, I'm not paying for Honor Roll or Honor Club, whatever the hell it's called. That's what I think every time I hear it. I'm not paying for it. So unless they decide, okay, at some point we're gonna take that Ring of Honor and we're gonna put it on YouTube or something like that, then I might catch clips, but I'm still not gonna watch the whole program.
What's the time on that?
10 o'clock.
No, how long are we doing?
1:45. I know it's time. It's time to roll.
2 hours.
Dude, we normally go 2 hours.
No, I like going an hour and a half. You get on a roll, that's why we go 2 hours.
No, I'm pretty much done. I'll pull up the song.
Well, you got to do your stuff. So you're saying that Joe stays on AEW though?
Yeah. Like Joe is AEW.
They don't have any ROH. Like if they start, because when ROH disbanded, everybody went. So right now, for them to start ROH, they have to have
guys that are going to move over. I think Danielson moves over.
Really?
Not Brian Danielson. I'm sorry, Christopher Daniels.
Oh, okay.
I think Christopher Daniels goes over. Frankie Kazarian just signed with Impact.
Yeah.
So like he's not even part of it anymore. So SCU is gone. Scorpio Sky, where the fuck's he?
Right.
Well, I just brought up SCU, so
where the fuck's he? That was awesome. His voice went high. Where the fuck is he? Where the fuck did Joe come from?
Where? Well, that's what we'll be asking. Where the fuck did Joe go if he goes to ROH full time?
Yeah, that's something. That's another show. Who the fuck do they have for ROH?
Well, I mean, like,
unless they take some people off of Elevation and Dark, which we're not seeing on AEW TV anyway.
Well, so okay, the reason why you would put it on Honor Club at this point instead of just YouTube and put it on as part of the AEW thing and just say, hey, this is a Ring of Honor match, which is what they have been doing. Anytime they do Ring of Honor stuff, they've got the ring announcer, they've got the
Caprice and Riccaboni.
Yeah. They've got Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman. Like, so they've already been doing that. So the fact that now they're gonna switch it up and put them on their own program and everything, well, that's great and wonderful. Except I already watch too much wrestling. I don't watch Dark. I don't watch Dark Elevation. I don't watch Impact. I'm not gonna watch Ring of Honor. And yes, you put Claudio on there. You put Samoa Joe on there. I want to watch it. I'm not going to unless I hear they had a good match. And then I'm going to have to steal it because I'm not getting Honor Club. So that's just how I feel about it.
I'm debating. I guess I got to wait to see what they're going to do.
What else you got? Anything?
Yeah, I want to watch this promo again before I leave. So.
All right. Last thing I'll say tonight before we actually give our things. Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania.
Good.
I did not enjoy it.
Okay, that's all. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, did not enjoy it. 2 after credit scenes. Stay for that stuff. But even that doesn't really move the story along. But they are a little bit more important than the entire movie. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah. Superman's coming back on TV soon, and The Flash has had the first 2 episodes of its new season.
I'm so pissed off. I can't figure out how to. So last night, I fucking my DVD player, because my cat pulled the cord out the wall, so I missed the first half hour of Flash when I didn't even fucking watch it, and then the CW app doesn't fucking work anymore, so I gotta figure out how I'm gonna watch the fucking Flash. I gotta watch it online.
Your Roku might have the CW app.
It doesn't work.
Works on my Xbox.
Oh, okay, I'll show you. Well,
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, I'll show you what I mean. Maybe you know what I'm not doing right.
But something else started today, and I've always been a huge fan of it. Picard season 3.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch that.
Well, if you watched Next Generation,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to watch the first 2 seasons of Picard, because the 3rd season, which is the final season, brings back the entire cast of Next Generation.
Ah.
And the first episode is friggin' incredible. So I'll leave it at that. Tino, why don't you
It fucking played now? I wasn't playing before. Goddamn son of a bitch, motherfucking cock sucking.
Scorpio Sky! What the fuck? Go ahead. Folks, we're gonna call it a night at this point.
Because I'm getting punchy now.
Oh, I know.
All right. You can catch me on
And it's warm in
on the
here,
20.
even though I've got the air conditioner off.
You can catch me on the Twitter. You can catch me on the Twitter at HootieFan91.
Which he never posts.
I am on Instagram at SCTino. I am on the Snapchat as SCTino. I am also on TikTok.
You want people Snapchatting you?
No.
Okay.
So you can rock and listen. Oh, we're the Potsy and Tino show on Facebook, Potsy and Tino on Twitter. Your turn.
Potchak on Twitter. Rob Potchak on Instagram. Rob Potsy Potchak on Instagram. Rob Potsy Potchak on TikTok. Rob Potchak on YouTube. Facebook.com/Rob Potchak for my art page. And I believe that's everything.
TikTok?
Yes, TikTok. Rob Potsy Potchak.
Twitch? You do Twitch?
Rob Potsy Potchak on Twitch.
Okay. You can catch our theme song is thank you to Adam's House Cats for our theme song, the wrestling song. You can get it on iTunes for 99 cents 99. Please like, subscribe, give us thumbs up, buy our shit.
And our boy Sean Cruz, Unfiltered Sean Cruz, did launch his new theme song by Mikey Ruckus of AEW music fame. It's called No Love. It is excellent. So go ahead and give that a look on Spotify, iTunes, or you can even see it on YouTube on Mikey Ruckus's page. With that said, everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Thinking.
Everybody wants to be the next boy. But I am the power.
They're really power back in